made you finally leave your religious family behind? I'm 19 years old, and I just escaped from a life that was slowly killing me. Growing up in a tiny, ultra-religious southern town where Trump flags outnumber stop signs, I always knew I was different. I just didn't realize how different until I fell in love with a girl named Bobby. My homeschooled, sheltered existence hadn't prepared me for what would happen when our secret came to light. My family and entire community are hyper-religious and openly hateful toward anyone who doesn't fit their narrow worldview. I haven't known anything except this dingy little town, but that type of hate has never felt right in my heart. When I was about 14, I realized that I was different. All the other girls in town were lusting over boys, but they did nothing for me. I cried so hard the day I realized I liked girls. I was scared of going to hell, and I knew this would only make me more of an outsider than I already was. I kept my identity a secret, thinking I would never be able to live out my dreams of falling in love with a beautiful girl. My mom had been telling me since I was little that it was my godly duty to find a good husband and give him healthy children, but God works in mysterious ways, and I could have never expected him to send me an angel of my own soon enough. It was a Sunday in spring when we met. My allergies were acting up. I kept sneezing during the sermon, so my mom told me to stand outside until church was over. I walked to the back of the big white church, and when I turned the corner, I saw a girl I had never seen before. She was beautiful, with freckles and thick dark hair, and when she turned to face me, I saw a cigarette hanging out of her mouth. It felt like someone lit a candle inside me, and I walked over to her as I felt heat grow in my chest. She gave me a big smile, revealing that she was missing one of her front teeth, but she didn't need it, and I could have dove into her big brown eyes like they were pools of chocolate syrup. She introduced herself as Bobby, said her family had just moved to town, and she hated it so far. I could tell she talked a lot as soon as the conversation started. She went on and on, but I could have listened to her all day. She talked about how she had gotten kicked out of her old high school, and her parents had moved to a more religious area, hoping that it would improve her behavior. She offered me her cigarette as she spoke, and I took it to seem cool. She stopped talking when she saw me struggling to inhale the smoke, and she let out this cheery little giggle. That's when she told me to hit her cigarette again, but this time take a big deep breath when she put her hand on me. She put a hand flat on my heart and looked into my eyes as she told me to inhale. That time, I successfully hit the cigarette, and when I exhaled the smoke, I realized that this mysterious girl standing in front of me was my very first crush. From spring into summer, we got to know each other better and better. Bobby was everything I wasn't: loud, unapologetic, a rule breaker, and halfway into the summer, I realized I was falling in love with her. We were inseparable. We would spend our days sitting side by side, dipping our feet into warm creeks, and at night we would lay a big blanket out in some secluded field and stargaze until we fell asleep in each other's arms. One night, Bobby stole a massive firework, and we set it off without realizing just how huge it was. The explosion lit the sky up and triggered car alarms. We ran away from the scene laughing and holding hands. We ran into one of our neighbors' barns, shushing each other and giggling as we listened to the chaos we created. Our hushed laughter died down, and we stared at each other in that dark barn, a tiny sliver of moonlight peeking in from the ajar door. The soft blue light caught her deep brown eyes, and I held her face in my hand and told her I loved her. She just stepped forward and took me in her arms. The next thing I knew, she was pushing her fingers into my hair and kissing me deeply. We sunk to the floor together, kissing passionately and telling each other how much we loved each other. We stayed in that barn for hours, talking about our feelings and holding each other. We knew our families would never accept us, so we agreed to keep our relationship a secret for now. We were both legal adults. I was 19, Bobby was 18, but neither of us had any skills or money of our own. We made a plan together that night in the barn. We were going to run away together. We didn't want to keep our love a secret forever, and we both knew the only thing we cared about in this crappy little town was each other. We decided we would start saving money in secret, and in a couple of months we would leave and never look back. We thought we were so clever with our plan, sneaking around and saving every penny we could find. But in a town where everyone knows everyone's business and the church controls everything, keeping secrets is nearly impossible. What happened when they found out about us changed everything and forced us to run much sooner than we ever imagined. Full story on channel, link below.